tremendous job to those boys and girls around the circuit. Thank you very much indeed, marshals. The old saying is, we can go racing without some officials, we can go racing without commentators, we cannot go racing without marshals, the unpaid volunteers, and you have done a wonderful job, as ever, here at this Silverstone weekend. So the lap of honour going round then, and we then have one race to go, which will be for the Honda CB500 Stars of tomorrow. There are a couple of alterations to the programme. Let me quickly give you the changes to the programme. If you would like to delete the following, and then we can add 2 further numbers in. The numbers that will not be seen on the circuit, you can delete the following numbers. Delete numbers 9, 15, 16, 20, 25, 27, 32, 36, 46 and 96. 3 additions to go into your programme. Digit 0, 0, Jimmy Miller, 0, Jimmy Miller. Ride the guest machine. Should he appear in the results, he would take the prize money but would not take championship points. 2 additional riders, 37 Luke Wood, 37 Luke Wood and 47 Richard Cooper. 37 Luke Wood and 47 Richard Cooper. So they are the 2 additions for this outing. So how have they qualified? Let's quickly give you then the qualifiers, and we'll give you numbers only. Your grid order will read in the following order. Front row 2, 34, 4 and 29. Front row 2, 34, 4 and 29. Row 2, 9090, 44, 18 and 13. That's 90, 44, 18 and 13. Row 3, 6, 31, 43 and 12. 6, 31, 43 and 12. Row 4, 61 and 19. And all of the aforementioned riders are inside the lap record. That then completed by 26 and 22. That's 61, 19, 26, 22. Row 5, 5, 28, 48 and 0. 5, 28, 48 and 0. Row 6, 47, 37, 10 and 45. 47, 37, 10 and 45. Row 7, 24, 66, 14 and 77. 24, 66, 14, 77. Row 8, 33, 11, 30 and 58. 33, 11, 30, 58. Row 9, 99, 69, 52 and 7. 99, 69, 52 and 7. Back row of the grid, 3, 75, 17 and 23. 3, 75, 17 and 23. So we are looking down on the grid, and they will be dispatched very shortly onto a sighting lap. And motors are being called to be stopped. Motors are being called to be stopped because one rider who should be here today, ladies and gentlemen, sadly not here, Marc Antony Moore, who tragically lost his life this week as a result of injury sustained in an accident on the open road. Not only a brilliant teammate to Dominic, Cann and Ian Robinson, but also a friend and inspiration to so many people. Always happy and smiling. He will remain in the memories of as a special person who has touched the hearts of everyone who were lucky enough to meet him. So could I, ladies and gentlemen, please ask you to join with us and the riders in the CB500s to show your respect to the memory of Marc Antony Moore. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and the final race about to commence. Well, they'll have a sighting lap, a warm-up lap, and then they'll come back under orders, and then we go over 10 laps. 10 laps to bring down the curtain on what must be regarded as a very, very successful Clarion Suzuki day out here at Silverstone. And just to echo the thoughts of many of the competitors, and I'm sure the thoughts of those spectators that are still here with us, let's come back to Silverstone and let's do it all over again before too long. The championship headed by Ray Sinclair. Ray Sinclair, who holds pole position with a 1:40.087. James Jackson, second fastest on 1:40.838. It is then Dave Waterhouse on 1:40.848 and Dominic Cann 1:40.893. That's the front row of the grid, and surprisingly the first 14 riders inside the existing class. That record held by Craig Hallam. Craig Hallam at 1:42.23, and that certainly is going to now be rewritten given the dry conditions that we've experienced. And well, I said it before and I'll say it again, who would have thought that when we woke up this morning that we would have had a dry track here at Silverstone throughout the day. Not a hint of a shower, and that we are thankful for the dry track, and we appreciate your attendance here at the circuit. Obviously enough, ladies and gents, and we want you to take care on the way home, because as ever we always want to be talking to you and most certainly not talking about you. So do take care on the way home from wherever you've come to wherever you're travelling to, and we look forward to you joining us at Donington Park in 2 weeks' time for the big show. The British Grand Prix comes to town, the Continental Circus comes to town, and British interest aplenty in the Grand Prix. James Whittam, of course, riding the locally based Medinas concern, based 15 miles down the road at Banbury. We'll be having Jeremy McWilliams, we'll be having Michael Rutter, we'll be having Jason Vincent. So we'll have the wildcard entries as well, of which we know in the 125s that the Pocket Rocket will be leading the British wildcards in the 125 British Grand Prix. So this final race and the stars of tomorrow was very much the launching pad for a certain James Toseland a couple of years ago. And James Toseland now a factory Castrol Honda rider representing Castrol Honda in the World Super Sports Series. So from Little Acorns Grove, number 44, very much one of the front running riders there, Dominic Davis. And Dom Davis qualified on the second row of the grid. Pole positions thus far, Ray Sinclair took pole at the last round, Donington Park, as well as being here at Silverstone. James Jackson pole at Snetterton, Dave Waterhouse at Alton Park, Michael Gavin took it at the 2 rounds at Cadwell Park and Mallory Park. Reliable, versatile, capable and fun. The CB500 makes the very best of all possible worlds. An incredibly versatile performer. All work and no play would make for an incredibly dull machine, and this machine is able to play. And how? You will see the twins as we get underway. So we await the red flag being held aloft. They come under orders, eyes on the lights, and it is go for the final time today. Race 8 is underway. The drag down toward Copse Corner, and emerging at the front of the pack, it's James Jackson, number 34. James Jackson, winner last year of the Gilera National Scooter Championship. James Jackson it is that holds the initiative as they make the run up toward the sweeping left-hander of Maggots, then on toward Beckett's. James Jackson, Dave Waterhouse in second place. That looks to be number 4, Dave Waterhouse, running there in second place. Another one of the front men, Ray Sinclair, is there in third place. So I fancy Ray Sinclair there third. Yes, it is number 2, Ray Sinclair there in third place. And in fourth place, that looked to be Ian Robinson, and he's from the second row of the grid, number 90, Ian Robinson. Here comes Dave Waterhouse going for the lead. Dave Waterhouse now goes ahead. Dave Waterhouse, who started his racing courtesy of Mick Corrigan. That name, Mick Corrigan, crops up again and again, and he has put Dave Waterhouse on the road to racing fame and success as the boys get in a bit of a wangle going in toward that right-hander of Abbey, sort themselves out, and now make the drag under the bridge and back into the arena. James Jackson looking on the inside of Waterhouse. Ray Sinclair around, well, it's choose any line. There's about a dozen lines in there, boys. You can choose any one. As long as they get round the corner and you're on the bike, then you're winning. Well, winning in your own way, you may not be winning the race. That's this man here who's winning the race or leading the race. Number 4, Dave Waterhouse. James Jackson, 34. Ray Sinclair, number 2, as they come through to complete lap number 1. 4:34 and 2, no change there. So we look for the 4th place rider coming through. And in 4th place, then it is number 29, and that is Dominic Cann. Dominic Cann, number 29, from in 4th place, number 90, Ian Robinson, and behind Robinson it was Matt Riggle. Then it was the youngster, very emerging talent of Dennis Hobbs, 17-year-old Dennis Hobbs, only started racing this year, has gone through in 7th place. It's a 3-horse race at the moment, a 6-cylinder race with 6 machines. Ray Sinclair just cuts back into the 2nd place. Leader on the road is number 34, James Jackson, the 22-year-old storekeeper at Rolls-Royce. Lives at Charleston in Derby, just 3 miles down the road from the Donington Park circuit. Bespectacled James Jackson. Here comes Ray Sinclair. Ray Sinclair, championship leader by some 15 points from Dom Davis. Sinclair goes on the outside and cuts through to take the lead. It was so easy for Ray Sinclair as he went in toward the Abbey right-handed hairpin. And it's Sinclair then with the predominantly red leathers that now leads from James Jackson in that 2nd place. In 3rd place it is Dave Waterhouse, number 4, Dave Waterhouse from Sheffield. Used to run the 600 engines in for Mick Corrigan around the Cadwell Park circuit, and as a reward for that he was given the opportunity of a couple of races last year. Enjoyed it so much he did 3 of the CB500 championship rounds, and he's back for a full season of it. Number 4, Dave Waterhouse. Sinclair, the race leader, 36 years of age, from West Dulwich in London. Did the Honda Newcomers last year, so he knows all about the capabilities of these twins. And Sinclair it is, the unfair naked CB500s. Let's look a little ways back for 4th place. Still there in 4th place, then number 29, Dominic Cann. In 5th position then it is number 90, and that is Ian Robinson. Behind Ian Robinson it is number 31, and that is Dennis Hobbs. Matt Riggle, 7th place, and number 13, and that is Brad Howell. Surprisingly, they've all been very well behaved. We've normally got them parked by the side, stacked by the side, buried in the gravel traps. This is the most remarkable at the moment. These boys are very sensibly behaved here at Silverstone. They're living up to the occasion. Here comes number 2, Sinclair, and it is now lap number 3. God, it seems like they've been going for 20 laps, doesn't it? Sinclair in 2nd place, James Jackson. Then it is Waterhouse. Waterhouse wants that 2nd place. Whether he's got the race experience to take it, that's really what he's lacking on. Is no shortage of speed, adventure or bravery, but it really is the experience to know where and when to make the overtaking manoeuvre. If we drop a little ways back behind the leading trio, in 4th place there it is number 29, which is Dominic Cann, 22-year-old out of Crediton in Devon. And behind him, number 90, Ian Robinson, 31-year-old from Oakhampton in Devon. The 2 Devonian riders doing well on the leaderboard. Certainly one thing you can't complain about with the CB500s. At least you can see the boys working away in the office there on the totally unfaired CB500s. And now coming through on the inside, here comes James Jackson. He wants it back, he's got it back. It's Jackson, number 34, ahead of Sinclair and Dave Waterhouse. It is still then in that 4th position. Number 29, Dominic Cann, but up into 5th place now has come Dennis Hobbs. Dennis Hobbs from Gisborough in Cleveland, running for the Sean Muir Racing Squad under the Team Manton banner. And he, winner of the last race, in fact, well, he was well placed in the last race. No, he crashed the last race, it was the race before. Crashed at Donington Park, but won the round at Snetterton, did the 17-year-old. And one of the riders having landed on his ear. Rider perfectly okay, incidentally, as we're staying with the, oh dear, it's the M25 in Russia at the moment, or should I say Hyde Park corner. Some wonderful action coming from Ian Hopcroft, another first-year rider, Ian Hopcroft. But this is what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them, 12 CB500s in a solid wedge heading in toward the Abbey corner. It's all action, elbows and knees, as the leaders are well ahead of them in toward the arena. Under the bridge come the leaders, and it's Sinclair back in front again. Number 2, Sinclair back in front again, ahead of Jackson and Dave Waterhouse. And one would have to say that the winner surely has got to come from these leading 3. but the excitement may well be coming from those behind the leading trio. This then to complete lap number 4 of the 10-lapper. And look at that scrum down behind. Well, here they come. They're the leading 3 through, no change. Oh, one of the boys depart in a flurry of sparks and gravel. So who was that we missed there? Just check and see who that one is that's landed in the gravel trap. He disconsolately, forlornly walks away. You can pick it up, boys, he says to the marshals. It's all yours. I'm on the way. I'm off to a safety zone. And there's the potential for this happening to more than one of these other competitors out there. It's a bit fast, it's a bit ferocious. No quarter asked and certainly no quarter given with CB500 Racing. Leader then is James Jackson. 22-year-old James Jackson, equal 4th in the championship table, ahead of number 2, the championship leader Ray Sinclair, and number 4, who's equal in the championship with Jackson, and that of course is Dave Waterhouse. And I think that was Ian Hopcroft that pitched off earlier on that there at Luffield, leading trio at Abbey, and that gives the opportunity once again for Sinclair to come back. You've got to keep that very tight, very much under control, that Abbey corner. You can get ragged on the way in, ragged on the way out, and it does give copious opportunities for the opposition to have a go at you. Jackson allowed a little bit of a gap, but Sinclair was unable to take it. But here comes Waterhouse on the holiday route. He's taken the AA holiday route that takes you around all the villages and all the country lanes. And if Waterhouse goes any wider on his corners, he's going to have to pay to get back into the circuit. He's taken 1 or 2 very interesting lines, is Mr. Waterhouse, in that 3rd place. And having said that, maintaining their advantage ahead of the pursuers. And is it the red jacket rider that's disputing? It is. It's the 17-year-old Dennis Hobbs with the red jacket that's up into 4th place. Wonderful ride here by Dennis Hobbs. Dennis the Menace, though, succumbs to the pressures of the more experienced Dominic Cann. Dominic Cann 4th in the CB500 Newcomers Series of last year. Good little scrap there, 29 Dominic Cann and number 31 Dennis Hobbs. Nice little talent, Dennis Hobbs. He's in with a very good team. Former racer Sean Muir, SMR Racing, backed by a very good sponsor, that being the Manton Group and the Holston Horse Group. And as they go in toward Beckett's, the leaders some little ways ahead of them, they in toward Ireland, the right, the left and the right. So the leaders themselves already on their way up toward Abbey, and it is Sinclair that comes to take the lead. It just shuffles through on the inside of Jackson, and Waterhouse still keeping that washing brief in 3rd place. There really was quite a gap there on the run in toward Abbey that really didn't need a written invite for Sinclair to take advantage of it. He could see the gap there and just easily just breezed through, lazily went through on the inside. So it's Sinclair that leads. Sinclair, winner of the last round, never been off the podium, and again a wide running attack, and that's put Jackson back to 3rd. Consistency is the keynote in this type of racing. You've got to stick to the line, almost lay a carbon copy on the track that first time around and stick to it next time. But Jackson paid the penalty for running wide. He's gone back to 3rd. That's allowed Dave Waterhouse to take over 2nd. Number 4 Waterhouse to Sinclair, 4 Waterhouse, and then it is Jackson running under number 34. It will then be Dominic Cann or Hobbsy. It's Dominic Cann, number 34, ahead of number 31, Dennis Hobbs. The next pack headed through by number 6, Michael Gavin. Rider number 44, Dominic Davis. Behind Dominic Davis, it is Dean, Matt Riggle, and rounding out the top 10 in 9th place was number 13, Brad Howell, and number 61, and that is Doug Irvine. Okay, back with the leaders is Sinclair. It's almost follow you or after you, take your turn at leading. The only one that's not got his nose in front as yet is number 4, Dave Waterhouse. Well, he'll have the last laugh, won't he, if he gets his nose in front on the run in toward the checkered flag. That's the time to do it. Flat stick on the run down toward Abbey, then all anchors down through the gearbox and sort it out as you arrive, and hopefully arrive bike and rider as one. Can't always guarantee that. And here they come, the sun's out once again under the Action Bridge, and Jackson just takes Sinclair totally unaware. Sinclair forced to pick the CB up and lay it down again and give best to Jackson. Sinclair runs wide. Is that the right line? Not on the next left-hander, but will be right for the following right-hander. Wrong, he's gone to the lead already. 2:34.4. As long as they keep it on the island and point it in the right direction, they most certainly are going to be the podium riders. That gap has increased ahead of number 29, Dominic Cann, 22-year-old Dominic Cann. But it's the more senior member out there, the 36-year-old motorcycle courier from West Dulwich in London on the Hartgate Motorcycles entry, the former motocrosser Ray Sinclair, that is now making a break for victory. Jackson, Sinclair, Waterhouse. I'm just waiting the time. Waterhouse has got to have a go in front, and surely the best time to do it would be on the 10th lap, preferably on the exit from Luffield, preferably on the run through Woodcote, and preferably across the checkered line. But can he do it? Aggression aplenty as Sinclair, and a bit of shaking of the left hand, almost if he's got cramp in that left hand by Dave Waterhouse. There's a possibility the arms could be pumping up, and Waterhouse has a go at Jackson. Well, they could almost economise, part one of the machines up, and they could ride pillion passenger. It'd be so much cheaper and more effective, I fancy, between second and third. Sinclair on the run through, and it could well be that Waterhouse has got cramp in that left hand. His forearm muscle may well be pumping up. We've noticed a couple of times around the circuit that he's been waving that left arm and is not being friendly to spectators around the circuit, but is trying to get some blood flow back into the forearm. See whether he comes through this time. He's having to hang on the corners, obviously enough. That's the part where he does need some sort of control on the motorcycle. And let's see as he comes now out. Oh dear, and he needs control then. He got the back end totally alongside the front. Well held, sir. Yes, and we watched that one. We've got it committed to a replay on that one, I'm sure. Well held, sir. But that really has determined that you are going to finish. And there goes that arm. There goes that left arm. You are going to finish in third place. So it's now between 2 and 34. 2 and 34, Sinclair and Jackson. And this is lap number 9. They are now on lap number 9, 1.5 laps. Let's just go through the definitive top 10 at the end of this lap. It was Sinclair, Jackson, number 4 Waterhouse, 29 Cann, 31 Hobbs, 6 Gavin, 18 Riggle, 44 Davis, 13 Howell, and 47 Cooper. Back with the leaders, and that in the form of number 2. Ray Sinclair, Jackson. Waterhouse just going to settle now for that third place. That will have sobered him up. There goes that left arm again. It definitely is pump up. He's got cramp and pump up of the forearm on that left arm. It's as the leaders now in toward Abbey, and they will then have one lap in which to sort out the final race of the day, the Honda CB500 Stars of tomorrow meeting. I think Jackson may well try that. If he's in second place, he may well try that under bridge on the final run. And into the gravel trap goes Michael Gavin, the 18-year-old from East Ham in London. Michael Gavin puts it in the gravel trap. That will have put him down. He was on the leaderboard in 6th place. He now goes back, well, quite a number of places, I would suspect. And one more lap to go. La Dernière Tour about to come up for the race leaders. They are... here they come, one lap to go with just on about 5 metres separating first and second place. Jackson's got the drive coming out of Woodcote. He may well take the lead going into Wardcop's corner. Jackson noticeably quicker out of Woodcote, and he'll try around the outside, but it's Sinclair on the inside. He still holds that advantage over number 34, James Jackson. The climb uphill, up toward the sweeping left-hander of Maggots, then on with the anchors in toward Beckett's. And then it is in toward Ireland, and from Ireland, the quickest part, one of the quickest parts of the circuit, followed. Oh, and he's down, Jackson's down, Jackson is down. The front end or back end, was it the front, was it the back, it doesn't really matter. He's on his backside. This is going to pull Waterhouse up now into second place. So James Jackson dropped it last lap, holding second place. So it's now going to be, he's perfectly okay, thankfully we can say that. But we will never know the answer to that one now, will we? Jackson now leaves the way clear for number 2, Ray Sinclair. Dave Waterhouse is going to finish one place higher than he could have imagined with just over 1 lap to go. Sinclair will be unawares. He thinks the pressure is still there. And who knows, he might even make a mistake. because he's really hammering on. He's still hammering on a fair treat. Is Ray Sinclair. He's unawares that Jackson has gone, blissfully unawares, still piling on the coals, dialing up the engine department for a few more GGs. He gets the back, went sideways, and he almost paid the penalty for not knowing that Jackson had gone. Well, what drama, what excitement here at Silverstone, right down to the very last bend, but victory time is going to be for number 2, Ray Sinclair, and what a victory it's been. Somewhat traumatic, but well earned, the win for Ray Sinclair, championship leader. In second place, number 4, Dave Waterhouse. Up now into third place comes Dominic Cann, number 29, and the scrap to the line for fourth place. In fourth place then it is number 18, I fancy. That would be Matt Riggle. Matt Riggle, yes, Matt Riggle holds it ahead of number 31, Dennis Hobbs, who finishes 5th. In 6th place then, number 44, Dominic Davis. In 7th place, number 13, and that was Brad Howell. In 8th place, number 47, rider there being Richard Cooper. And behind Cooper, it was number 37 Wood, and 43 Fryer. Well, what a way to close the programme here at the Clarion Suzuki race day here at Silverstone. We hope and we trust, ladies and gents, that you have been thoroughly entertained and enjoyed what you've seen here at Silverstone. Remember the name Silverstone. Action here, 4 wheels and 2 wheels. A lot of action here during the year. The British Grand Prix comes to town. The Formula 1 British Grand Prix comes to town here at Silverstone. But the world-famous Silverstone circuit, again, giving some tremendous motorcycle racing as James Jackson gets on the hoof to make the long walk back toward pits lane. It's slightly less painful. It's going to be Ray Sinclair from Dave Waterhouse and Dominic Cann that will take their place up on the podium. Lots of action in that one, but as we move on to the presentation with Paul Fowler for the final presentation of the day. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed the facility of the large screen here at Silverstone, ladies and gents. We certainly hope you've enjoyed the whole production here. We look forward to coming back to Silverstone in the not too distant future.